hires.
Yeah, I'll see that.
So we have Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel interviewing. I know Bill Belichick interviewed twice with the Falcons. From what I'm reading, that was basically his market was the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think he interviewed with anybody else and did not get the job for whatever reason. And so which coaching hire, I'm trying to pull up I want to get all the names right and where they go. I had it saved on here. Are you shocked that Bill Belichick didn't get a job?
No, I'm not. I mean, and I think because at the time, when it was decided that he was parting ways, I think a lot of these clubs already had their sights set on these coaches in itself. And to be honest with you, looking at the list, I couldn't see if there was anywhere where he should go. Right? I mean, you have this just Hall of Fame coach as is, and I think I said this when we talked about him stepping away from the Pats. Is like, look, even if he didn't want to chase this record, which, I mean, knowing Bill Belichick, he might not want it. He might not care at this point. He's first ballot going right into the Hall of Fame. But he's going to want to find a club where he knows he's going to be successful. And one of the things you have to look at is, and I'm not saying he was only successful as a result of Tom Brady, but I think a large portion of his success came from his relationship with Tom Brady. And there's nothing against that. I mean, you look at the Pete Carrolls and Russell Wilson and the success that they have had, or the Drew Breeses and Sean Paytons. So there's nothing against a coach and quarterback tandem that preaches success, but since Tom departed the Pats, they've been on a downward spiral. So in my head, I'm like, well, where could Bill go where he can find that chemistry? And the one thing I did say is possibly the Chargers. Now, maybe the Falcons could have done it, but I think, honestly, the Falcons made the right hire with Raheem Morris. I think it's going to be great for them and their future, 100%. Because a part of me also thinks, give these guys a chance. Give these younger guys that have been in it a while a chance to just get up there. Plain and simple. And maybe Bill will step away for a year. I don't see him going the college route, or maybe there might be another opening coming up soon, which I know is crazy for me to say. Is like, Bert, well, how can you say that? There's two teams in the Super Bowl. Both of them have fantastic coaches, and both of them have coaches under contract. And I know San Francisco, as much as I'm pulling for them to win the Super Bowl, because I would like to see Kyle Shanahan finally get, his as a head coach. And what better storyline than Mr. Irrelevant winning a Super Bowl, right?
Oh my God.
However, Kyle Shanahan has been almost successful. And because I use the word success as winning a Super Bowl, right? And as a head coach in itself. And he has brought them right on the cusp for so many years. And I know he's got a good relationship with John Lynch, and he's good through 2025. But will there be if they go in and literally don't if they show up, not even piss a drop, similar to every other team that's been facing off against the Chiefs, I'm sure someone's going to be furious, and maybe something will open up. Again, completely far-fetched. That's what it is. I need a tinfoil hat for this too. But look, getting back to Belichick, though, obviously he didn't land anywhere, so he might just be taking some time, and maybe after reflecting, might be like, I'm good. I don't need to do anything else.
I agree with you. I think he'll take the year off, see what he wants to do. I don't think he's done coaching. You have Raheem Morris in Atlanta.
Yep.
Dave Canales in Carolina. And Carolina would have been an interesting one for Belichick, because I think the issue with Atlanta and with Arthur Blank was, I think Belichick, he wanted to control everything, right? I don't think Belichick could have been a coach with a GM or with the owner with the Cowboys, like everybody was trying to force him into. I think the Raiders were never going to go away from Antonio Pierce. The players openly were like, yo, I'll ask for a trade if Antonio, that was always going to be a thing.
Yeah, and honestly, they made the right move there, right?
Yeah, 100%.
He's essentially, I don't know if he's a hometown kid or just grew up watching them and rooting for them. You figure he was a fantastic player. He did great in the interim this past season, really went over the locker room, and you can see the mood shifted with that team in itself. So what do you have to lose? I mean, fuck. The Colts hired Jeff Saturday as an interim coach with virtually no experience. Antonio Pierce has at least 6 years of experience. Now, granted, I know it's not 6 years NFL experience. It's 6 years combined with his coaching experience in college and NFL, but still you have to take a shot at it through and through. I think Raheem Morris is probably one of the best hires out of all of the coaching openings. You figure he's got a
Great
Super Bowl,
culture guy.
great
Great
culture
culture
guy,
guy. Mhm.
has a Super Bowl under his belt already, knows what it takes to win. He was the interim in Atlanta after they got rid of Dan Quinn so many years ago. Went 4-7, so didn't do too hot, but nice to see that he still had relationships and they're bringing him back.
Yeah.
And then I to your point about the Panthers and Dave Canales, they probably have the lowest expectations out of everybody that hired a coach, because they were in building mode and now they're in building mode with obviously a newer head coach, but I think they're going to surprise most. He's studied under Pete Carroll. I think just overall, we're going to see an improvement for them, which is going to be good. Now, can we talk about the worst one?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Give it to me. Which one is it? I think
Dan Quinn being hired as a head coach again.
Yeah.
Particularly when Ron Rivera himself was more defensively minded and did absolutely nothing for that team that had potential in an offense. And not to mention, we're going to hire another defensive minded coach who was the defensive coordinator for a Cowboys team, which if you look at their defense throughout the season, gave up a lot of points and not for nothing, just got completely blew out in their playoff game. I'm not saying he's not a bad coach. I'm saying I don't know why you would go back to something like that and not try something new. You have new ownership, new management, and it's like, hey, let's just get Ron Rivera 2.0, only someone who's, track record as of late defensively hasn't been the best. Now, when you look at his head coaching, when he was with Atlanta, brought him to Super Bowl. However, on the unfavorable side of history in that Super Bowl, as they blew a 28-3 lead against the Pats, and then since then only went 18-23, never returned to even make the playoffs, and then was eventually fired for Raheem Morris to take over in itself. So, look, we have a history on the show as of recently where when we talk about something, and particularly when we talk shit, it tends to prove us wrong. So maybe they will prove us wrong. Selfishly, as a Giant fan, I hope that's not the case, but I honestly think that was the worst hire out of all of the head coach openings in terms of what that team needed and the coach that they got.
Yeah, I didn't understand the Dan Quinn thing. I think Mike Vrabel would have been a better choice. I think Belichick could have been like somebody who needs to come over and take over everything. Would have been Belichick. Could have done that in Washington. I don't know what they were thinking, but hey, whatever.
It got me. And like, had we not heard about that hire today, obviously, I think I probably would have went Jared Mayo, only because been in that system, like the Pats. I mean, been in that system, grooming him for the job. That's great, and obviously he's going to bring some change from a Belichick era. But as far as I know, all the other coaches got reoffered their jobs with the exception of Belichick. So it's like, what are you changing here? But hey, I could be surprised.
Yeah, both of Belichick's sons are still on the Patriots, so
They did. Yeah, they remained. Yeah.
Harbaugh with the Chargers. I mean, that was always talked about. I think we've talked about that on the show. Like that's just one of the worst kept secrets in the NFL. So I expect him to do great things. I think he has no pressure on him. I think the pressure's on the Chargers. Like we already know what Jim Harbaugh can do. It's on Justin Herbert to prove that he is that dude. It's up to the Chargers to try to work around that terrible salary cap and all those bad contracts they gave out. Jim Harbaugh, at least for the first year, is chilling, like trying to figure out what's what. He has zero. I know people will try to put pressure on him, but you don't got no pressure on him. Justin Herbert got pressure on him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But we'll see. All right, Bert, hear me out.
Let's go.
Bill Belichick taking a year off. It's cool. Nick Saban was fired. Nick Saban and Bill Belichick do bar rescue, but instead of bars, go fix football programs around the country. High school, college, like D3 college too, like Bishop Sycamore style, like fake colleges, like whatever. Hey, we're going to come in. We're going to fix your high school program. We're going to do the Little Giants for real. Like we're going to do annexation of Puerto Rico. We're going to show you how to run these plays. I would love to see Nick Saban. You know how they do Peyton and Eli do like Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
On ESPN2. I need Nick Saban and Bill Belichick doing Thursday Night Football on Peacock or whatever. Like I know Amazon, hopefully Amazon no longer has it.
Yeah.
But you're going to do these Peacock exclusives. Make it Nick Saban and Belichick. I want to hear them call a game. Like,
Yeah.
I think it would be magic, but I would definitely sign up for a Bill Belichick, Nick Saban reality show where they just travel the country and
Yeah.
fix bad programs. I think it would be amazing TV.
I would love to see that, or a Bill Belichick fashion line of just
Oh,
sweatshirts with the
yeah.
sleeves cut off. Yeah.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, like a reality show,
Yeah.
like Sylvester Stallone. Like, let's just follow his
Just
family, like, and just see how he is. I just want to see what it's
yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
and just kind of marvel at it.
I mean, there could, and in that reality show, we could have a smile counter like at the bottom
Oh
of
my
it, which
God, yeah.
counts how many times Bill Belichick smiles. And if it goes above 10, then like everybody gets a prize or
Oh, it's
something like that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. A Gronk Belichick like cruise reality show.
That
That would
would
be
be,
awesome.
that's truly like an odd couple situation. So